pigment epithelium, pigment epithelium, pigment epithelium, pigment epithelium, photoreceptor layer, photoreceptor layer, photoreceptor layer, photoreceptor layer, photoreceptor layer, outer limiting membrane, outer limiting membrane, outer limiting membrane, outer nuclear layer, outer nuclear layer, outer nuclear layer, outer plexiform layer, outer plexiform layer, outer plexiform layer, inner nuclear layer, inner nuclear layer, inner nuclear layer, inner plexiform layer, inner plexiform layer, inner plexiform layer, ganglion cell layer, ganglion cell layer, ganglion cell layer, nerve fiber layer, nerve fiber layer, nerve fiber layer, pigment epithelium, photoreceptor, outer limiting membrane, outer nuclear layer, outer plexiform layer, inner nuclear layer, inner plexiform layer, ganglion cell layer, nerve fiber layer. 1. Pigment epithelium. 2. Photoreceptor layer. 3. Outer limiting membrane. 4. Outer nuclear layer. 5. Outer plexiform layer. 6. Inner nuclear layer. 7. Inner plexiform layer. 8. Ganglion cell layer. 9. Nerve fiber layer. 1. Pigment epithelium, pigment epithelium, pigment epithelium, pigment epithelium, photoreceptor layer, photoreceptor layer, photoreceptor layer, outer limiting membrane, outer limiting membrane, outer limiting membrane, outer nuclear layer, outer nuclear layer, outer nuclear layer, outer plexiform layer, outer plexiform layer, outer plexiform layer, inner nuclear layer, inner nuclear layer, inner nuclear layer, inner plexiform 7. Inner plexiform layer, inner plexiform layer, inner plexiform layer, outer plexiform layer, inner plexiform layer, ganglion cell layer, nerve fiber layer. Pigment epithelium. 1. Pigment epithelium. 1. Pigment epithelium. 2. Photoreceptor layer, photoreceptor layer, 2. Photoreceptor layer, 3. Outer limiting membrane, 3. Outer limiting membrane, 4. Outer nuclear layer, 4. Outer nuclear layer, 5. Outer plexiform layer, 5. Outer plexiform layer, 6. Inner nuclear layer, 6. Inner nuclear layer, 7. Inner plexiform layer, 7. Inner plexiform layer, 8. Ganglion layer, 8. Ganglion layer, 9. Nerve fiber layer, 9. Nerve fiber layer. Pigment epithelium, photoreceptor, outer limiting membrane, outer nuclear layer, outer plexiform layer, inner nuclear layer, inner plexiform layer, ganglion cell layer, nerve fiber layer. Pigment epithelium, photoreceptor layer, outer limiting membrane, outer nuclear layer, outer plexiform layer, inner nuclear layer, inner plexiform layer, ganglion cell layer, nerve fiber layer. PPOOO, PPOOOIIGN, PPOOO, PPOOOIIGN. Pigment epithelium, photoreceptor layer, outer limiting membrane, outer nuclear layer, outer plexiform layer, inner nuclear layer, inner plexiform layer, ganglion cell layer, nerve fiber layer. 1 is pigment epithelium, 1 is pigment epithelium, 1 is pigment epithelium, 1 is pigment epithelium. 2 is photoreceptor layer, 2 is photoreceptor layer, 2 is photoreceptor layer. 3 is outer limiting membrane, 3 is outer limiting membrane, 3 is outer limiting membrane. 4 is outer nuclear layer, outer nuclear layer, outer nuclear layer. 5 is outer plexiform layer, outer plexiform layer, outer plexiform layer. 6 is inner nuclear layers, inner nuclear layer, inner nuclear layer. 7 is inner plexiform layer, inner plexiform layer, inner plexiform layer. 8 is ganglion cell layer, ganglion cell layer. 9 is nerve fiber layer, nerve fiber layer.